Man United fans, I'm scared. I am. Crystal Palace, Selhurst Park, away from home, Premier League. It's always a tough game for United anyway. But look at them stats. Look at them last 3 games. Manchester United hasn't even managed to score a goal against Crystal Palace the last 3 times we played them in the Premier League. And then Rúben goes and drops the bomb on us in the press conference earlier on today and says that Matheus Cunha is still out. How? When he had a late fitness test just before the Everton game. I don't get it, but we haven't got him right now. So now we have to try and decide amongst ourselves what the best setup is for Manchester United here. This is a look ahead to the game ahead of that Palace game at weekend Sunday. Lunchtime kickoff, everybody. Forever United TV, get into the comment section. Give me your thoughts on this. I'm sure, like me, you have been thinking after that press conference, how the hell do United line up? Now, I've got 2 lineups that I'm going to bring to you today on this video this evening. And it's one that I think will happen, a predicted lineup for Rúben Amorim, and then one that I would just do and change to try and make Manchester United more combative, more enterprising. I think more creative is probably the best way I would put it. Because if we try and be defensive in this game, the stats tell us there that Palace will pick us off. Like, that is a nightmare look. And I'm not surprised that the bookies have Palace as the favourites against Manchester United. How am I even saying this? How am I even saying that Palace are favourites? Well, United don't win at Selhurst Park often. United struggle to score goals against Crystal Palace. They are miles ahead of us in the league in terms of the league table. Only 2 points behind though. And a win for United would take us above Palace and completely flip this on its head. But look at them games. Look at our record. And look what team we have got to pick from right now. That's the most worrying bit about this. No Cunha. It's just Mbeumo and Ahmad again. Like, Bruno might turn up. We don't know. I mean, Bruno's going to play. We know he's going to play. So we might as well get into the actual predicted lineup. So first of all, this is what I feel Rúben Amorim is going to go with when we head out to Selhurst Park. This, you know, this is going to be it. Dorgu will be dropped for Dalot. I think that's pretty much nailed on right now. He will look at Luke Shaw. I don't think he's going to bring Leacher back into this yet. He gives no indication in the press conference that he was going to do so. So we're just going to assume that Leacher is going to still be on the bench. And then you're looking at Yoro, De Ligt and Shaw as a back 3 with Lamins in goal. You've got Ahmad, then Bruno, Casemiro and Dalot as your midfield 4. 2 wing-backs being Dalot left and Ahmad on the right-hand side. Up front, Bryan Mbeumo on the right-hand side of Joshua Zirkzee and Mason Mount on the left. Now that can be changed. Obviously, he went with Ahmad and pushed 2 defending players in at wing-backs. He could go with that again. We might see Dalot and Mazraoui instead of Dorgu and Mazraoui. Dorgu, I think, won't get in this team. I'd be surprised if he starts. I really would. I would play him ahead of both of the others if you're going to play the 3-4-3, to be honest. But realistically, when you look at this team, I think this is what we've got. And it's not much different than the team that played against Everton the other night and completely crapped the bed. And that's why I'm worried. That's why I'm concerned. I don't know what Man United side's going to turn up. We know on paper what's probably going to happen. But let's be honest, I don't see Manchester United actually really changing much. And that's the big concern that I've got with Rúben Amorim. He's stubborn. He doesn't really change it too much. I mean, I'm all for that if you're winning games, but let's be honest, we're not really in a good place. We haven't got a win in the last 3. We've dropped 7 points now with only 2 draws and the win against Spurs. Obviously, the no wins against Spurs, Forest and Everton last time out. So I just look at the chance that United have got in this game. It's going to come down to the players actually giving a shit. That's it. That's all we can hope for, because he isn't going to do anything that's going to change anything in the way we play. The application of the players is the only thing that's going to make this work for Manchester United in a 3-4-3 Rúben Amorim system. That's the only way this has anything working for us, in my opinion anyway, because if you was going to tactically change it and think that tactics were going to win the day today and he could do something different, then Rúben would pick this team. Now this team is my team and this is what I would go with and what I think is the best setup. So my team would be a different formation altogether. Now you can obviously change the back line up a little bit because you've got options there then, but I feel like De Ligt and Yoro as a 2 would probably work better for me. I'd go with the back 4, of course. I'd actually go with the 4-2-1-3 formation. That's how I would do it. I would really push it onto a hopefully tired Crystal Palace side. So I would have De Ligt and Yoro as my two centre-backs. I'd have Senna Lamens in goal, obviously. Luke Shaw at left-back. That could be changed if you wanted to put Dalot there. Look, you could have Mazraoui at right back as well. So realistically, yes, I think Mazraoui probably would be the best option. I've just put Dorgu there because you want to win the game. I want my more attacking players on the pitch, and honestly, I've got no issue with Mazraoui at all. Don't think that I have. I would play him. I think in this game, though, we just need something a little bit different, and Dorgu isn't much better. In fact, you know what? I'm probably just going to swap Dorgu for Mazraoui in there. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. And yeah, I think realistically we've got enough attacking options there. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put Mazraoui back in to right back. I think that's fair. I think I made a mistake there. So I'm changing it already. It shows you how confident I am. Done it in this team. My God. Right, so Mazraoui's back in at right back. Luke Shaw left back. Then we've got De Ligt and Yoro. In front of them, Mason Mount and Casemiro. Now, you could put an extra defensive midfielder in there as well, in Manuel Ugarte. I just think Mason Mount's energy in this game is probably going to be vital for us. And I'm looking at press resistant, quality on the ball, passing out from the back, and that's what I want on it. I want ballers, I want people who are comfortable. Casemiro there with them 4 defenders and Casemiro in front of them 5 defenders, and I make that 5 defenders, 5 attackers in my eyes. I think that's a good balance. Obviously, I'm not just saying that because it's 5 and 5, but I just look at the players and I think Casemiro with 4 defenders behind him, I would feel more comfortable. Then you've got the energy of Mount next to him, Bruno and him doing his bits in between Casemiro and Mount, and Joshua Zirkzee as the lone striker up front, with Ahmad on the left of Zirkzee and Brian Mbeumo on the right of Joshua Zirkzee. Obviously, if Cunha was fit, I'd be looking at a completely different side, but he's not, sadly. And Rúben, like I said, dropped that bombshell on us earlier on. God knows what's happening with him. Expected apparently to be back in and around the Wolves game. It's really disappointing. I can't believe he's out, but still, that would be my team that I would go with. So what I want you to do is get into the comment section and let me know what you think Rúben is going to do, and then what you would do. Some people might take Bruno Fernandes out. Does Kobbie Mainoo deserve a place back in this side? Would you put somebody else in that 10 role? Would you maybe drop Bruno out completely and put Mount there and replace someone of Bruno Fernandes like with Manuel Ugarte, or maybe a Kobbie Mainoo? I don't think Kobbie Mainoo fits in either way at the moment. He hasn't had enough game time, and I don't think he's a good defensive midfielder. I think there's better number 10s than him in the side available right now, and that would probably be Mount. So unfortunately, I cannot find space for Kobbie Mainoo unless, well, you tell me. It's up to you. You might think that he's better than Ahmad or Mbeumo in the 10s, either side of Zirkzee. I don't think so. I would play Ahmad and Mbeumo over Mainoo every single day of the week. I would always play Bruno ahead of Mainoo as well. I think he offers us more and he's more energy and gets up and down the pitch better. I'm not saying Mainoo can't play a role, and he could come into one of the midfield options there, but you let me know as well. That's your choice and your selection on that. But that's my team against what I think Rúben Amorim is going to do. So here's Rúben Amorim's. It's a 3-4-3. It looks pretty rigid and what we're expecting. And there's my team that I would go with. Just something a bit different would be nice. Let's see what Rúben does and let's see how he changes this up. My prediction for this game will be 1-0 Manchester United. That's how I see this going. And I don't know where I'm getting that from. We're not scoring many goals. Palace are tired. And there's no excuse for United. The rocket up the arse from the Everton game, I'm expecting to be there. I will be absolutely devastated if Manchester United don't react and get something out of this game. I really do. A draw's not good enough, by the way. Now it's not. You would say before, and people will come back at me and say, Adam, you said Palace was a good draw before. Not now, it's not, because you lost to Everton. You beat Everton, and you're seeing this as a decent draw, and you continue in the run. But right now, this is trying to save Rúben Amorim, and this is trying to bring this team back from the dead, basically. Because if we lose to Crystal Palace, that's back-to-back defeats to Everton and Palace, and that's us in the bottom half of the table going into games against West Ham and Wolves. And getting wins in them games are not going to pull the wool over my eyes. I'm going to need a lot more convincing. And this team needs to bounce back from letting us down against Everton now. I don't care about this away record. It's a lot of crap. Deal with it and get over it and go out and win an away game. I'm sick to death of the excuses of not being able to win away from home. I'm not having it. Get out there, win the game like you should have against Spurs and you should have against Nottingham Forest, and start putting some of that nightmare that we've seen against Everton to bed. The only way you repair what was done at Old Trafford is by beating Palace, and then you can start to forget about what happened there. But if you don't get the win, and even a draw isn't good enough for me in this game, I will be livid, because I'm expecting these players to come out and absolutely go at Crystal Palace to prove a point. They played on Thursday. They've got no preparation time. They'll have more minutes in their legs. This is what always came up against Manchester United. So if we don't manage to reverse this from the days when we were in Europe and going into these games tired, then I'll give up with this team. There's no hope for us at all. We might as well be in the Europa Conference League or something like that, playing 2 games a week at this point, because having so much training time with Rúben Amorim, if we're not winning these games, it's like it's never going to work for us. But that's my thoughts. Give me yours. Get into the comment section, everybody. Give me what you think is going to go down, what your team would be, what you think Ruben's going to pick, and importantly, the scoreline. What's it going to be? Do you agree with me at that 1-0, or am I wishful thinking there? Let me know in the comment section, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you pop a like on the video and smash that subscribe button up on your screen as well, everybody. And I will see you on Saturday morning, the day before, probably feeling even more nervous. But give me your thoughts. Cheers, everybody.